Hello and welcome to another episode of Go-To Tech Reviews. Today we're going to be taking a look at the MSI X99A Gaming Pro Carbon motherboard. So we're going to do an unboxing and just do a quick overview of some of the features that this motherboard offers. Alright, so before we get into the motherboard and unboxing it, I've got a little bit of a cold going on and some asthma, so I'm going to try really hard not to cough in the middle of the shoot, but we'll just see what happens. So anyways, I got my Broadwell-E processor a week ago. I got the i7-6800K, I only need the 28 lanes. I have no intention of doing SLI. I might eat those words later, but I really just don't yet. And I was starting to run into issues while rendering these videos. The 6700K is a great processor, but I was finding situations where I was really needing these extra cores and threads. So we'll see how that goes. So I figured this was a good value. I could have gone with the Haswell-E, the 5820K. That's probably a better value, but I just wanted to stay on top of the curve or ahead of the curve or whatever. Anyways, so yeah, let's just jump right into it. Here's the box. I like it. It's pretty understated. Just a nice black color. I'm not sure if you can see my my Z170 motherboard. It's actually kind of a spin-off or an iteration of the Z170 Gaming Pro board that I have in the system currently that this is going to be replacing. I looked at a couple other options. I looked at the Asus X99A 2. I read some bad reviews on that, and I've never really had good luck with Asus BIOS, but it seemed a good value. This board was a little bit more, but I was willing to pay the little bit extra. Plus, I'm pretty familiar with MSI's BIOS and what they have to offer, and I've been happy with it. The other one I looked at was the Gigabyte X99 Ultra Gaming. The features on that are great and awesome, and really reasonably priced too. But I did find out a couple things. Number one was the U.2 port. It required you to have one of the 40 lane processors, so the 6850K on up to support the U.2. And I believe it's the same case with the Haswell-E's. So you have to have a 40 lane CPU, so that would be the 5830K on up as well. And this one just had some more flexibility. I really love the black look of it. And again, we'll look at the actual board itself here in just a minute. Just something to mention, MSI has 3 specifications of their gaming motherboards. This falls in the middle tier under the performance gaming, and the top tier is called enthusiast gaming. I can't remember what the bottom one is called. I'll add that in the notes. But I will say that this is at the top of the heap in the mid tier. So yeah, let's open it right at it. Okay, so here we go. So the first thing you get is the motherboard right out of the gate. It's got some good heft to it. That's exciting. Let's set this off to the side here real quick so we can take a look at the accessories. You get a nice I/O shield, black in color. I always like that. Has a nice soft foamy feel. It's got a really cool dragon on it. I love the dragon. You know how I feel about these. These are the driver discs. If you don't have the internet and you're buying a board like this, don't know what to tell you. A thank you from MSI for purchasing. I should probably use these more, but these are labels for your cabling. A quick install guide, and a whole pile of SATA cables. Now, right angle and straight, it looks like there are 3 right angle and 3 straight. So that's really nice. An SLI bridge, MSI theme. And what do we got here? Oh, so an RGB, 4-pin RGB extension cable. It's nice. Oh, 2 of them. So yeah, you can get the right length that you need. Oh yeah, the Gaming G Series sticker shield. Love that. I didn't get that with my other one. I was kind of sad and disappointed about that. So yes, this will be going on my machine. Oh, and this looks like the quick connects for HDD light and power and reset switches. So that's handy. You can do that beforehand. And another SLI bridge. This one looks to be a wider one. And one of the most valuable things in here, which is the user manual. And these door hanger things. I don't think my wife would really appreciate having these up on the door. Yeah, sorry honey, I'm busy gaming. Yeah, I don't think that would really fly well. So yeah, there's all the contents of the box. So we will now take a look at the motherboard itself. So here's the motherboard itself. Looks very cool. Probably the coolest looking motherboard I have ever seen. It's got the nice black on black theme with metal highlights. It's got this kind of carbon fiber thing going on too. It has this kind of nice iridescent coloring to it. This metal you see is what they call their steel armor. So they have it on the DDR4 slots and the PCIe Gen 3 by 16 slots, not on the by 1 slots. That would be kind of silly. And you also see that they have it for the M.2 slot as well. Apparently you need it there. So yeah, so let's just kind of look at some of the features on the top of the board here. Then we'll kind of go around each of the sides and see what we got. So first off, you've got your LGA 2011 V3 socket, which supports the Haswell-E and Broadwell-E. They also have the extra pins, though I'm not going to take this off yet till I install my CPU, but they've got the extra pins, which they claim helps with overclocking. I can't remember how many more it is. There's just so many features. I tried to remember as many of them as possible, but even with the cheat sheet, you have to kind of look around because there's just so much to talk about. So the DDR4, it supports up to 128 gigabytes of DDR4 in quad channel, up to 3466 on up with overclock. So that could change with future BIOSes and XMP profiles and different memory modules. But on the box itself, it says it supports up to 3466. See what else. So we've got the power delivery. There are 8 titanium chokes here for 8-phase power delivery. Then you have your standard power, 24-pin power over here, and an 8-pin EPS for the CPU as well. This helps with extra voltage and extra power to help with overclocking. You have a CPU fan header up here, as well as a dedicated pump header, and then you have 3 system fans, one here, and one over here. So in terms of expansion slots, you have 4 PCIe 3.0 by 16 slots. These also have the steel armor on them. And then you have 2 PCIe by 1 slots. I believe these are probably Gen 2. It's typically how those ones are. So you got the Audio Boost 3. So this is the audio isolation here. It has its own shielding there. Look at the board up over here. You've got a debug LED to give you a code when debugging. You have a USB 3.0 header, and this one's straight up. And then this is really nice. I didn't realize how nice this was until I didn't have it. But a right angle USB 3 header as well. I've always thought the headers for the USB 3 they were really thick and always kind of in the way of the cable management. This makes it much easier. And then this is really cool. This is a USB 3.1 Gen 2 Type C that is meant to route to the front of a case that has a Type C header. Or a Type C connection on the front. So on the back here we have 6 SATA 3 connectors, and then a U.2 connector, and then you have down here at the bottom you have 2 more SATA 3.0. You have the overclock button and reset switch and power buttons as well. There is also a click to select the overclock if you want to do it manually. Or physically on the board. I prefer to do it in the BIOS. I found that the voltages tend to be a little aggressive, but if you just want a one-stop shop for overclocking, you can do it this way. There's a little switch for the BIOS, and this is a SATA Express. I dare you to find one or an SSD that actually supports that, but you can just look at this as an extra 2 SATA ports. Then you got 2 USB 2.0, and then you've got, now this is your 4-pin RGB LED header for, with this board you can control the RGB lighting of a standard 50/50 RGB strip up to 2 meters through the software using the gaming app. And you can have it match the theming. I'll get to the RGB lighting here shortly, because that's one of the main features of this motherboard. And you got your system fan, we already covered that. Audio, and just a few more jumpers here and there. So looking at the I/O in the back here, you have a combo PS2 mouse and keyboard, a pair of USB 2.0, BIOS clear button, and then you have 4 USB 3.1 Gen 1, also known as USB 3.0, but they changed the naming convention of the USB 3.1. You've got Intel LAN, another pair of USB 2.0, and then you have the USB 3.1 Gen 2 Type A and the USB 3.1 Gen 2 Type C. And then you have the standard 7.1 Realtek audio with SPDIF audio. Now, I will do another video on this later, but one of the main features of this board is the RGB lighting. You have several zones. You've got the zone up here, which has the Gaming Pro, and then the VRMs. And then you have the audio portion over here. And then you have the chipset lighting and PCIe. And then you have the header for the 50/50 RGB lighting. So, I will do a video on that later. So I do have the Vantex Enthulux Pro case, and I'm going to try to get that all kind of nicely synced up and all the RGBs going. But yeah, this is just a quick overview of the board. I hope you liked the video. You'll be seeing a lot more. I'm going to be putting this in my system tonight. I'm going to make another video. So thanks for all your support and for watching the channel. I also started a Patreon page, so you can support the channel there, as well as using the Amazon affiliate links in the links below. Subscribe if you haven't already, and like it if you like the video. And we will catch you next week. And thanks for watching. Okay. No. Yes.